Welcome to the Sunday edition of Consciously Positive. I am your co host, Vinay Babbar. I'm going to be talking about a topic today. And I'm a business coach and also a life coach. And I help organizations and individuals to accomplish peak performance in their lives. So I use the methodology of mindfulness and I also use organizational effectiveness techniques to help organizations go to the next level. Today, I'm going to talk about something very peculiar, not peculiar, something very obvious, which happens to human beings, and how can we move beyond that obvious that really comes our way. Okay. So the topic that I'm going to talk about is moving beyond complaints. And I'm sure we all have complaints in life. We all have situations in life. We all have complaints about people, situations, circumstances. So let's explore and navigate today. How can we deal with those complaints? I'm not asking you to um, remove the complaints immediately because that is an automatic process of your human mind. And but today, let's navigate to the journey for next 30-40 minutes, and let's understand how can we understand the complaints and how can we use a tool which can be used to go ahead and move beyond complaints. But before a few premises that I'm going to talk about, the few premises is that I'm going to talk about is every so-called, I'm saying so-called because there is a reality to everything. Our mind is a very powerful device, and it also gives us a lot of, not many times, our mind divides situations into two. Either it is a positive or it is a negative. But the reality is there is no negative and positive per se. There is a reality situation, something which is very real. And the people who are powerful, people who live beyond complaints, are someone who take the situation as it is what it is, not labeling it as positive or good or bad. So every so-called situation, circumstances, and people are either opportunity for us to grow or it is a mere illusion. Now, I'm going to talk about this statement uh, very, very intense, in a very intense fashion. If a situation, how come a situation can be an opportunity or an illusion? Now, illusion is something which why we I'm saying is an illusion because mind will label it as that this is something which has happened to us in our lives. It is not good for us. This is something which is happening to our lives right now. It is not something which is good for us. So mind has a consistent habit of labeling it into positive, negative, white or colorful, white or black. But the fact of the matter is, every situation right now, even now, when you are listening to this conversation of moving beyond complaints, is an opportunity for us to take our understanding and awareness to an absolutely different level so that you can see things in a very different perspective. Now, another perspective that I'm going to talk about before we even navigate it, before we even navigate the complaints, one of my very good friend was a very successful investment banker, and he's also a share broker. And he has accomplished a, an unprecedented success in his life in a very short period of time. Now, I I was just talking to him about his life. I even had done a podcast with him as well. But I was just talking to him very informally uh, and asked him Sir, because of the obvious reason, I'm not taking his name right now. Sir, I just wanted to understand what is the one single line that has helped you become successful in life? What is a single line that you would share as a part of wisdom that has helped you to accomplish great success in life? And his answer was immediately before I could even finish my conversation. He said, Vinay, just one single line above everything, one single background, a context of everything is never complain and never explain. कभी एक्सप्लेन मत करो और कभी कंप्लेन मत करो. ये चीज मैंने जिंदगी में सीखी है और उसकी वजह से मुझे हमेशा अपॉर्चुनिटीज ही नजर आती है. Now, explanation is not that you don't explain to people. It's about justifying that something, why something is not happening, which you want it to happen. So today is not a motivation class, but let's understand one or more premise is the premise is the word is not the word looks like. दुनिया वैसी नहीं है जैसे दुनिया आपको नजर आ रही है. कितनी बार ऐसा देखा हो आपने आपने देखा होगा. हाउ मेनी टाइम्स हैव यू सीन that although you are seeing someone, but you're still not seeing that particular person. आप सब लोग बोल रहे होंगे आप इसको देख रहे हो, किसी इंसान को देख रहे हो, एक पार्टी में गए हो और उस इंसान को पार्टी में देख रहे हो. But the fact is you are not looking at the person. You're not even aware that person is existing because you are in your own thoughts. How many times that things are visible for you, things are there in right in front of you, and you're looking at different directions कि यार मुझे मेरा सामान कहाँ गया है. Sometimes you are wearing your spectacles and you're looking at spectacles. Where are the spectacles? Because our mind is in a different conversation and mind is in a different series of thoughts. So I'm going to just acknowledge one law which I normally use it and it has helped me in my life is the word is not what word looks like. The word is the way our thoughts about the word is. If you see that the word is cunning, you'll see everything around that. If you see the word, the people around are dishonest, you'll always find dishonest people around. More than 60,000 comes our way every single day, and above 90% thoughts are repetitive. Now, this premise is very important for us to navigate beyond complaints. So, this is why I'm sharing this slide with you. Okay. So 90% thoughts that you see in the 60,000 thoughts that comes every single day are repetitive in nature. That it comes from the memory. It comes from your past experiences. It comes from the programming that you have. Right. Now, let's go and navigate the structure of complaints. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to have complainer thoughts? You know, the marketing agencies know this very clearly that our brain is accustomed or attuned to the negative situation. So, whenever a marketing agency wants to market a product or do an advertising, they first talk about the pain area and then they provide the solution. कोई भी ऐड आप देखोगे तो वहां पे पहले पेन होता है कि वो इंसान बहुत थर्स्टी है. गर्म. अगर आपने कोका कोला पियोगे अरे प्यास बुझ गई. पहले पेन दिखाते हैं फिर सॉल्यूशन देते हैं बिकॉज माइंड फर्स्ट एंड ब्रेन फर्स्ट टॉक्स अबाउट द पेन एरिया. सो similarly as a default mechanism we are attuned to complain. We are not attuned to make a conscious effort to go to the next level. So let's understand the kind of complaints that we have, and you can add to the list as well. The traffic is terrible, the boss is unfair, people are not supportive, economy is broken now, the war is happening, a kind of war is happening. Yesterday, I see the war between There was few missiles were been there in Dubai as well, and the Burj Khalifa was getting emptied. So जैसे ही हम उसको देखते हैं तो हमारा पहला फोकस क्या जाता है, अरे यार सब कुछ गलत हो रहा है. And the best example is that whenever something happens, the first reaction is in the stock market, and everything goes like crazy. इतना नीचे चला जाता है स्टॉक मार्केट, एज इफ बिल्कुल डूम हो गया. बिकॉज हमारा माइंड हमेशा कंप्लेंट्स को पकड़ता है, हमारा माइंड हमेशा गलत चीजों को पकड़ता है, नेगेटिव सिचुएशन, सो कॉल्ड नेगेटिव सिचुएशंस को पकड़ता है. The traffic is terrible, the boss is unfair, economy is broken, my parents don't understand me, my spouse doesn't support me, my body is not cooperating now. This is again a complaint. अरे यार, मैं तो सब कुछ करना चाहता हूँ, मैं तो एक्सरसाइज भी करना चाहता हूँ, आई वांट टू डू एवरीथिंग इन लाइफ, बट क्या करूँ, मेरा बॉडी साथ ही नहीं देता. तो दैट इज ऑल्सो अ unconscious complaint. Now we are very clever people, by default. हमें क्या लगता है, हम ना सामने से कुछ दिखाते नहीं है, बताते नहीं है, बट inside the background we always complain for some reason or the other reason. The body is not cooperating, the weather is awful, Array, life is hard. Now there is a story about the weather, and this will also give you some perspective. Now there was a there was a philosopher by the name Lao Tzu. You all know that. Now Lao Tzu, when he was there, and there was a neighbor uh, that when he found out, a new neighbor that came for the Lao Tzu, and he said and found out that कि यार लाउजू यहाँ पे हैं तो मुझे तो उनके साथ रोज वॉक पे जाना चाहिए, बिकॉज लाउजू भी रोज मॉर्निंग वॉक पे जाते हैं. So never, the moment the neighbor discovered that Laozu lives besides my house, तो उन्होंने एक फैसला लिया कि मैं हर रोज मॉर्निंग वॉक में नेबर जो नेबर है उसने फैसला लिया कि हाँ एवरी मॉर्निंग वॉक आई विल accompany Laozu. And he was so excited. And but he was talking about आज तो बहुत धूप निकली हुई है, and today the weather is like this, today something is not happening. आज तो ये मौसम बहुत अच्छा है, आज तो बहुत बारिश आ रही है. तो ये चीजें लाउजू का नेबर जो था वो उसको लाउजू को बोलता रहता था. बट लाउजू वाज नॉट हैप्पी. He never used to respond to these conversations. And then the person asked लाउजू very gently, सर आप मेरी बात का किसी का रिस्पॉन्स ही नहीं दे रहे हैं. So why it is so? Why you're not responding to my conversation? Don't you think that is weather is like this? So Lao replied very gently, if you can't say some new thoughts, keep your mouth shut. That is the only thing that I wanted to tell you by keeping myself in the silent zone. क्योंकि आपको जो नजर आ रहा है मुझे भी वो नजर आ रहा है. धूप ज्यादा निकली हुई, हाँ यस. मुझे ज्यादा बारिश ज्यादा आ रही है, अरे मुझे भी नजर आ रहा है बारिश आ रही है. आज मौसम बहुत ठंडा है, यस मौसम बहुत ठंडा है. So what is the new thing that you're talking about? So as human beings, we always and always have an attitude by default. Yes, we can correct it. That is why we are here in the conscious positive sessions, that we correct it every single point. But by default, our mind first catches the complaint. A situation comes up for us, and the first thought that comes up for us is, ये कैसे, ये तो हो नहीं सकता, ये तो प्रॉब्लम, इसमें तो प्रॉब्लम आ जाएगी. I remember I was when I was coaching a sales team in a particular company. तो sales team जब distributor के पास जाती थी तो distributor used to say something that market is like this, the stocks are like this, the payments collections are very poor, and the sales people, instead of giving a solution to them, by default they were, oh yes, 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 yeah, I understand that, I understand that. कोई बात नहीं. When can I come for the next payment? So now the point I'm trying to make is here that that by default we will catch the negative situation. By default, we will not provide the solution. We are not someone who will provide a solution to the problem. That is a default mechanism that we have. But a lot of successful people who have gone beyond complaints, they provide solutions to the challenges that they are facing. They instead of clinging or going to the mind's habit of the problem making, they they what they do is they go to solve the problem rather than make the problem as it is. So complaining is the most now another perspective when we talk about complaining. Why our mind is completely attuned to complaining because it's the most socially accepted form of surrender. अरे छोड़ ही दो ना, कंप्लेन कर दो और छोड़ दो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। और चीजें नहीं आ रही है, मैं क्या करूं? Things are not happening the way what should I do? If my spouse is not supporting, what can I do? I'm feeling very helpless. What can I do? So it's an easiest form of surrender. But the worst part is, and the dangerous part is, हमें लगता है कि हम बहुत प्रोडक्टिव लाइफ जी रहे हैं कंप्लेन करके। मेड्स नहीं आ रही घर में, अरे तो ऐसे ही है, वो तो बात ही नहीं करती है, वो तो बताती भी नहीं है, कम्युनिकेट ही नहीं करती है और ढंग से काम ही नहीं करती है वो। तो ये बोल करके हमें लगता है हाँ, हमने कुछ अच्छा काम कर दिया। तो देयर वाज another character that I have in my life is when उनसे जब भी बात करो ना, अरे मत पूछ विनय, बड़ी बुरी हालत है मार्केट की, अरे ये हो गया, ऐसा ऐसा हो गया, आज मैं डील करता हूँ ऑफिसर्स के साथ, ऑफिसर्स तो बहुत करप्ट है, ये तो ऐसा हो गया, वो तो ऐसा हो गया। और ये बोल के ना उसको लगता है कि मैंने कोई अच्छा काम कर दिया, प्रोडक्टिव काम कर दिया। दैट इज वाई बाय डिफॉल्ट आवर माइंड इज due to complaining. Now, another research on complaints is the Stanford University show that chronic complaint, अगर हम complain consistently करते रहते हैं तो हम हमारा जो ब्रेन होता है वो रीवायर हो जाता है। And each time you complain, you strengthen neural pathways that makes it easier for us to complain again. It's like complain is like a rocking. It's like you rock in the rocking chair. You know, don't go anywhere. एक रॉकिंग चेयर है, उसमें बैठे हो, कंप्लेन कर रहे हो, कहीं जा नहीं रहे, कहीं पहुंच नहीं रहे। So I'm going to show you something right now. I'm going to show you a video how our mind fulfills a prophecy. What our mind thinks and how we try to believe. So basically, हमारा माइंड ना कंफर्म करता है कि ऐसा अगर मैंने सोचा है तो माइंड को ऐसे ही सबूत मिलता है। So I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you a video, very brief video of about 1 minute. Now you will find a train there. You will find a train there, and now what you're going to do is I'm going to play a video right now, just as it is, and you're going to say to me, writing in the chat box, which is moving. ट्रेन किस जगह पे मूव कर रही है? So put in the chat box and maybe you can unmute yourself and give me something that which way is this train moving away from north or coming south? आगे जा रही है ट्रेन या पीछे जा रही है? दोबारा से चलाता हूँ इस वीडियो को। Okay, So maybe you can unmute yourself and ask and say which way the train is moving. Is it going? It's coming back. कहाँ से क्या चल रहा है ट्रेन?
I thought it's going both ways. Sometimes the red one was going towards north, and then it was also this one.
Yeah,
But it can be possible, but I don't know.
yeah, but how come ट्रेन तो एक ही जगह जानी चाहिए, तो ये दोनों जगह से कैसे ट्रेन चल रही है?
Maybe an optical illusion kind of.
Yeah, but no, it's basically where our mind focuses. जहां पे माइंड फोकस करता है, हमें वैसे एविडेंसेस मिलते हैं. वी गेट एविडेंसेस वेयर आवर माइंड फोकस. इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ कंफर्मेशन बायस. व्हेन यू से things are not happening the way I would like to happen, okay, fine, ऐसे ही होगा. When I say, despite of the challenges that I have in my life, I am here to progress and grow emphatically. And you get similar situations and opportunities for you. So it's a kind of confirmation bias that we always have in mind. और जहां पे हमारा माइंड attuned होता है, वैसे हमें एविडेंसेस मिलते हैं. If a person will always say the train is moving towards the north, तो उसको नॉर्थ ही नजर आने वाला है. और उसको अगर अगर वो ये देखेगा कि ये साउथ की तरफ आ रहा है, उसको साउथ की तरफ ही नजर आना है. लेकिन ट्रेन उसी तरफ मूव कर रही है जहां पे आपका अटेंशन है. तो our focus goes where our attention goes, and energy goes where our attention goes. Okay. So हमारा by default, if we have complaints and we get similar belief, the beliefs that we have, whatever results that we have in our lives is because of the actions that we have, and it is because of the beliefs that we carry. And beliefs क्यों होते हैं? क्योंकि experiences हमारे को ऐसे मिलते हैं. और experiences, because we have experiences, that is why the beliefs become even stronger, and then we do actions as per those beliefs and we get results as per those beliefs. अगर हमें लगता है people are dishonest and people are kind of कामचोर, then our experience is such that people will be someone जो कि कामचोरी नजर आने वाले हैं, और आपके एक्शंस वैसे ही नजर आने वाले हैं, एंड आपके रिजल्ट्स भी वैसे ही मिलने वाले हैं. So beliefs and experiences and our actions and results are in tune with each other. Okay. Now, there are three types of complaints that we have. One is the helpless complaint. This is not this. This always happens to me. Nothing ever works out. This is a victim's language. Now, what this victim language does is it removes power from your hands. Now, this is a habitual complaint. It's about food, pastime conversations about politics, colleagues. It becomes an entity. Some people don't have conversation. They host complaint competitions. मतलब इतना कंपटीशन करेंगे कि कंप्लेंट को भी लगेगा कि भाई बस करो यार, मेरे बारे में इतना क्यों बोल रहे हो आप. सो पीपल हैव competing abilities to talk about their complaints each time. Okay, but the most important part is a strategic complaint. Now this is different. It is like traffic is terrible, I will leave earlier. My boss gives unclear instructions, I'll ask for clarity. Now, kind of complaint is called strategic complaints, where you have also provide solutions despite of the problems that I'm facing. I have a solution to that. Now, this is a complaint that you can refer to, although ये भी complaint से भी beyond जाना है. पर ये complaint अगर होती है तो क्या होता है कि आपके पास solutions हमेशा ready होते हैं. So I coach a lot of CEOs and I don't, sometimes athletes also. I got an opportunity to coach some athletes also. A person who was uh, a young athlete, I used to coach him. So उसके साथ मेरी जो कॉन्वर्सेशन हुई थी, तो कंप्लेंट का जो नेक्स्ट लेवल है वो ओनरशिप है, और ओनरशिप का नेक्स्ट लेवल है एक्शन है. नाउ द फर्स्ट थिंग that comes to every person here आई एम आउट ऑफ शेप, व्हाट कैन आई डू यार, मेरी तो शेप ही ठीक नहीं है यार, मैं तो बिल्कुल ढंग से दिखता भी नहीं हूँ, कुछ भी मेरे साथ तो ठीक नहीं होता। The ownership is that it is not because of the circumstances, it is not about the people, it is not about your body clock. It is because you have neglected your health. So the people who own up is they like say, I neglected my health. It's just like I have done it. And then the action is I'll walk 30 minutes daily starting today. The complaints, जब कंप्लेंट होती है, जब अगर हम आउट ऑफ शेप की बात करते हैं, मेरे तो शेप ही ठीक नहीं है, मैं तो मेरा तो वेट बहुत बहुत ज्यादा है, मेरा वेट है, जब उसी में हम लोग रहते हैं तो क्या होने वाला है कि हमारे को उसी चीज, वही एनर्जी हमारे को मिलने वाली है और उसमें हम कोई काम नहीं कर सकते। लेकिन जैसे ही आपने ओनरशिप ली, क्योंकि आपने कंप्लेंट ये नहीं करी कि मैं आउट ऑफ शेप किसी और वजह से हूं, मैं इस वजह से हूं बिकॉज आई हैव निग्लेक्टेड माई हेल्थ। नाउ व्हाट इज द एक्शन आई वांट टू टेक? आई वांट टू वॉक 30 मिनट्स एवरी डे। So what complaint does to you is they drains your energy, it but ownership generates energy and action multiplies energy. So the complainer says, why me? Winning says, what now? What's next? I don't want to work. But why we love complaining? Let's be honest, because we seek sympathy, we seek belongingness, we want a temporary relief, we want excuses, but it costs our confidence, it costs our respect, it costs momentum, opportunities. High performers don't bond over complaints, they bond over solutions. नाउ व्हाट इज द अपॉर्चुनिटी नाउ? नाउ मैंने आपको बहुत सारा बता दिया, कंप्लेंट्स ऐसा होता है, कंप्लेंट्स में ऐसा होता है, कंप्लेंट्स से एनर्जी ड्रेन हो जाती है। तो व्हाट इज द अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर अस? एट द बिगिनिंग आई जस्ट सेड every negative or so-called situation, or so negative so-called people are opportunity for us. Now that we have known about complaints, what is the opportunity for us? The first thing first is, if you want to move out of your complainant attitude, the first work is to do the inner work. Now, how can you do the inner work is something I'm going to talk about in the next 5 minutes. Now, when you have the inner work done, the outer work will automatically reflect. So, what we want to reflect now is you got to consciously think. You got to consciously think. Now, let's transform our complaints to a recurring feedback that we have from outside. People are like mirrors for you, and they'll give you feedback every time so that you can work on yourself. And this is an opportunity for you. You consider a person whom you have complaints. आज हम, because of the time constraint, I'm not going to talk about the situation and circumstances, but I want to talk about someone who you have complaints all the time. अरे ये बंदा बहुत dominate कर रहा है. Person is too dominating for me, too smart for me. अरे too clever for me. Person is a liar. The person always overpowers. Person lacks ownership. Or my partner doesn't understand. So this is the framework that I want you to use, because now the moment you see people are like that, क्योंकि दुनिया वैसी नहीं है जैसी हमें दुनिया नजर आती है, दुनिया वैसी है जैसे दुनिया के बारे में हमारे विचार होते हैं। People are not like the way people are. People are what we our thoughts about people are. Now, when I say too dominating, what is the complaint? First of all, we have got to pause ourselves. And when you say, let's say, any example of people are very clever. Now, what is the complaint that you have about people? People are very clever. People, हमारे को तो कुछ समझते ही नहीं है, झूठ बोल करके सब कुछ क्लियर कर देते हैं, बहुत स्मार्ट है, एंड अन सब कुछ जो है हमारे को वो जैसा बोलते हैं, हमें उनको उनकी बात को विश्वास करना पड़ता है। नाउ व्हाट इज द अंडरलाइंग बिलीफ दैट वी हैव, दैट दे शुड नॉट बी द वे दैट दे शुड बी। उनको ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, ये मन में बिलीफ है आपके, चल रहा है, कंसिस्टेंटली चल रहा है कि यार वो क्लेवर उनको नहीं होना चाहिए, उनको स्मार्ट नहीं होना चाहिए, उनको डोमिनेंट नहीं होना चाहिए, उनको नॉन सपोर्टिव नहीं होना चाहिए. That is the underlying belief that we carry. And I've shown you the example of the belief pyramid. जैसे जैसे belief that we have, वैसे वैसे हमारे को experiences होते हैं और हमारा belief और strong बनता है. So when we say that people are not supportive, this is the confirmation bias that we have. And क्योंकि वो confirmation bias होता है तो हमारा ध्यान हमेशा वहां जाता है और हमें वैसे ही evidences मिलते हैं. आप अभी भी देख सकते हैं उसमें कंफर्मेशन बायस को देख सकते हैं कि आप, अगर मैं बोलूं कि ओनली फाइंड आउट द रेड कलर इन योर रूम एंड ओनली काउंट द रेड कलर ऑब्जेक्ट्स इन द रूम, आफ्टर 2-3 minutes you will count every red color, but you will find out कि आपको दूसरा कलर कोई नजर ही नहीं आता. So whenever we are attuned or focused on one belief, we are always and always thinking on those directions. What is the underlying belief? That people should not be the way they are. Now, what people are showing up for us when they are too dominating, they are showing to us that where are the areas, what are the areas that I am dominating my own self? I am suppressing my own self. Is it the physical area where I am not exercising? I'm overpowered by my negative thoughts, so-called negative thoughts, that I am not getting better. This is too cold outside, this is too hot outside, I can't go. So those are dominating thoughts for you. So where are you dominating your own self and you're sabotaging your own self? Physical area, learning area, financial areas, when you have lost some money in the stock market, let's say, what do you say to yourself? Okay, the stock market is not for me. You're doing a self-sabotaging. But people who are successful in stock market will say, "Oh, what is the learning that I have after that loss that I had? Where is the discipline that I was not creating for myself to become successful in the stock market? What is the discipline I'm not creating myself in my daily exercise schedule? Now, which area do I need to transform?" When you see people are showing up for you, people are mirroring up for you, by being a certain way, they are actually helping you to transform your area. So which area that you need to transform? Is it the physical area that you need to transform? Or it is the financial area that you transform? Or maybe social area that you need to transform? Or maybe the spiritual area that you need to transform? So what is the new self-affirmation that I need to program myself? That is something that is visible because people are showing up like you. वो आपको जैसे ही आप आपको वो नजर आता है, आपकी जो कंप्लेंट्स है, व्हेन यू हैव दैट कंप्लेंट्स अबाउट पीपल, दैट पीपल आर अ सर्टेन वे, they are actually helping you to transform one area which you getting feedback from those people by being their certain way. Now, what is the new self-affirmation that I need to program myself? Let's say I am saying that I'm dominating myself consistently by suppressing myself, I'm self-sabotaging myself. The new self-affirmation that can be, I'm in the process of self-expression. I'm always expressing myself, I'm always being happy, I'm always joyful. This is a new affirmation that you can start talking about. But what if the person doesn't change at all? आपको लगता है कि यार वो तो मेरे को इसलिए दे रहा था मैसेज कि क्योंकि वो एक डोमिनेटिंग इसलिए था क्योंकि वो मेरे को ट्रांसफॉर्म करना था. So if a person is not transforming at all, change at all, then what? You can still go to the next level, always go to the next level by transforming yourself in a very better way, in a better way, even more better way. So you basically, it's a kind of continuous process. It's a kind of continuous process where you are seeing the feedback from people, way they are. You are basically moving beyond complaints and then expressing yourself of who you really are. क्योंकि जो आपको मिरर दिखा रहा है बाय बीइंग अ सर्टेन वे, वो आपको बता रहा है कि आप कैसे हो. our mind immediately goes to the fact that यार वो कैसा है. It's not about that. It's about मैं कैसा हूँ, मेरे मन में thoughts कौन से चल रहे हैं, and this is how you transform your life, right? So now basically when you do this mirror framework, this is where you can see yourself every moment and every single time. Whenever there is an underlying complaint, whenever there is a complaint at the background about people, you will always and always be celebrating, okay, fine, this is an opportunity for me now to grow in a certain area. Until and unless people, हमें जब लोग वैसे अगर सब कुछ ठीक नजर आता है तो हमें लगता है कि हम भी ठीक है. तो this is how you can move beyond complaints. You can ensure that you can be at a level where you're not complaining, you're always and always growing, and every situation is an opportunity for you. And when you see every situation is an opportunity for you, you basically take the necessary actions, necessary steps to take yourself to the next level. With this note, I want to end this session. And if you have any questions, if you have anything to say, feel free to say that. And if you have any insights that you have gotten out of the session, I will ask you to just share your insights as well.
Thank you, Vinay. It was really wonderful. And the reflection framework was very helpful. Yeah, because sometimes, like I would say, even if you are not I would not consider myself as a persistent complaint, but I think it's in still areas we still have a lot of complaint. Okay, yes, I was like that.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah. So actually, but yeah, taking the solution and taking action around that is really good. Yeah.
Yes. No, yes, yes, we have grown to a certain level. When you are disciplined, you've grown to a certain level. But whenever the moment we see it, okay, this is something I have complained in the background, and this is about people. This is
Mhm.
where you can start taking it new kind of actions. जहाँ
Yeah.
पर action मैंने लिया नहीं था वहाँ पे action लेना शुरू कर सकते हैं.
Yes. Yes. And it's very helpful. Yes. And I've seen like it's also like the context. Yeah. So which also helps apart from affirmation, I would say also the context which we say na, that it is decisive. So if your context is like, okay, it's going to be good, then suddenly everything works. But
Yes,
and even affirmation works faster.
yes, yes, yes. Then yes, the moment you see the context where your focus is,
Mm.
and as you say that in the train example as well,
Mm.
when the context is something that you are clear about, this is where I want to believe.
Yeah.
You see the results accordingly.
Yes, yes. So thank you for doing that, showing
Right.
this train also and creating this. It was very helpful. Meenaji had to leave because she had to leave, go
Yes.
somewhere.
It's just that.
So,
Yeah.
so it's totally fine. So now we can wrap it. And thank you for
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you. Thank you so much, Pradeep.
thank you everyone.